Hi, I'm Liz Hector. Nice to meet you. You know, so many of us have forgotten how to network. It's been 2 or 2.5 years, depending on where you live, where you might not be meeting that many people face to face. The ability to meet and connect with others quickly, it's important. Why? Because 31% of people who found new jobs in the last year have done so through acquaintances. And the important point is, these are acquaintances. In other words, part of your network, not your close inner circle. So it's important to follow these 5 rules when networking. Well, hi, I'm Liz. I am the Project Skills Mentor, and I'm all about helping you be better at your job, whatever that is. And now let's review why we want to network. 1 is to make yourself more approachable and knowable to others. 2 is to share information, get new ideas, branch out. And 3 is you never know where your next job or opportunity is coming from. Having a broad and wide network of diverse people can help you get in the right place at the right time. And that's important for all of us. We don't know where our careers will lead in the future. Be ready by increasing your network today. Okay, let's get started with these 5 steps. Step number 1, get ready to network. You need to have the right mindset to be ready to network. That can be getting yourself pumped up to meet others. Having a good energy is really important. Another thing is, get your story straight. And by story, I mean a short story about yourselves. When you're introducing yourselves to others, you're going to want to say something about your name and your job, but maybe something, 2 or 3 sentences which actually help identify you. Tell what your passions are, what your focus is, or what your experience and background are. You want to make sure a story about yourself is clear and concise, but also grabs the attention of the listener. Don't be boring. Nobody likes boring. Now you're in a networking situation. What are you going to do? Mingle, walk around, smile, make eye contact. And if you see someone making eye contact back, walk up to them and introduce yourself. First, ask them a question or make a comment. It's a helpful way of starting the conversation. And this can be as simple as, is this your first time here? It's my first time here. Or, what'd you think of that last speaker? You know, the point is that you want to show engagement, that you are present. And you can do that through making a positive comment or an interesting question. Don't be a downer. Keep it positive, because this is your first meeting and your first impression wants to be a completely positive one. Now it's time to introduce yourself, so remember that short story we talked about? Here's the time you want to use that. Point number 3 is, now that you've started a conversation, stay curious and open. You don't want to be the person mostly talking, you want to be a good listener too. So staying curious about what it is they're saying. You don't have to know everything about everything. Asking a great question is more important than having some fantastic insight when you're first meeting someone. People like to share their knowledge. So you can share your knowledge too, but don't try to one-up the other person. It's good to mingle. So you've had a great conversation, you've introduced each other, and you've gotten to know a few facts about that new person. Try to remember what those facts are and smile and move on. Sometimes the situation lends itself to meeting lots of different people. So when you're networking, you don't have to feel tied to one person the whole night. Mingling is a chance to meet more than one person in the evening, and that's something you want to do when you're growing your network. In fact, you can actually find person A earlier in the evening and then talk to person C later in the evening and then realize, hey, these 2 people have something in common. Let's see if I can connect them if they don't know each other. That can be a great way for these other 2 people to see you as a connector. And if you find a deep connection with someone, you really want to get to know them more, follow up on something, or send them information about a topic that you both discussed. Then get their details. The easiest way to do this is share your LinkedIn details and get theirs as well. Once you make that LinkedIn connection, you have an easy way of communicating with them in the future. The next point is, make sure that you actually follow up on a connection. If you've mentioned an article that person was interested in, follow up by sending them the article, and then maybe a month later follow up and say, hey, did you check that out? Was it interesting? Maybe follow up with a request for a cup of coffee or a chance to meet at another organizational event. You know, there's a saying, your network is your net worth. There's a reason for that. Making time to keep these valuable new connections alive and deepening them, growing them, and keeping those connections connected to you is part of the value you'll find in your network. And are you finding value in this video? If you are, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing, and sharing this information with others. You know, you're not the only one who's having trouble getting back into the networking game. So I've got a couple of other videos I'd like you to check out, and here's one about how to create your personal story. Check that out before you have your next networking assignment. And I hope that you'll check out my link below to get more information on this topic in my blog. And I'll see you next time on projectskillmentor.com. Bye-bye, everybody.